imagine a situation, though, in which the ruling elite of a country is receiving gratuities on the side that inure to the benefit of the strongman leader and not to the populace of the country. Does that sort of corruption and bribery go on with regard to the Belt and Road?
Absolutely, Chairman. I see this, and I don't mind calling them out, but Captain Traoré and Burkina Faso, as they know that both, whether it's their gold reserves, that is all those proceeds are just in exchange to protect the junta regime. There's a number of examples across, even in Sudan.
Hello, welcome back. I'm sure you heard the voices of the American officials and their threats to the country of Ibrahim Traoré, that's Burkina Faso. You heard what they are saying there. They've made up their mind. They're accusing the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré of looting, the mineral resources of his own country, and they are calling him labeling him as a corrupt person and saying that he's using the proceeds from his raw materials, his country's raw materials, to protect himself and stuff like that. And for that reason, it's like they are gearing up to go and attack him. And we are not surprised that the man has survived the 18th assassination attempt on his life. And don't forget that whenever the West, want to pie any of these leaders who are no longer playing to their dictates, what they do is to demonize them, completely demonize them, falsify things about him and make them look bad. And eventually they're going to use black people. You saw that black army official, being the one spearheading that whole thing. So the plan now is to get rid of Ibrahim Traoré. By the grace of God, Africa, the rest of Africa must not let this to happen, because these guys cannot be more Catholic than the Pope. The people of Burkina Faso have not cried to them for help. Okay, so where is this sudden love for Africa coming from, if you may ask? So just take a listen to the rest of my interventions. So throughout modern African history, a tragic pattern has persisted, okay? Whenever a revolutionary leader rises to liberate his people and assert true sovereignty, foreign powers, yes, you heard me well, foreign powers, especially the West, swiftly move to extinguish that flame. The assassinations of Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya, Thomas Sankara of this same Burkina Faso, and Patrice Lumumba stand a grim reminder of this brutal tradition. Yes, it has always been a tradition. They don't want leaders that will fight for their people. They don't want leaders that will want to seize the control of their resources for their own people. They don't like it. And they don't like leaders who don't come to them, to beg for loans and stuff like that. They don't like it. And that is why those names I mentioned were acquired in the first place. Okay? So this man embodied the spirit of Pan-Africanism and nationalism, and each paid the ultimate price. Yes, from Gaddafi to Thomas Sankara to Patrice Lumumba of Congo, they all paid the ultimate price eventually with their lives. Colonel Muammar Gaddafi of Libya sought not only to free his nation from Western economic dominance, but also envisioned a unified Africa with a single currency and a military might. He was brutally murdered, in 2021 following a NATO-led intervention. I don't want to bore you with the details of how the whole thing went, but I'm very sure a lot of us were very, very mature at that time, and we saw what played out. And unfortunately, as we speak today, Libya has not remained the same. In fact, that country was destroyed. So at the end of the day, you say you want to fight on the side of the people, the leaders are exploiting their resources. So what has that intervention led to in Libya today? Has it made Libya better, or it has completely ruined that beautiful country? These are the questions that African leaders and the youths of the African continent must pay attention to. Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso, the African Che Guevara, fought fiercely against corruption and neocolonialism, only to be betrayed and assassinated during a coup in 1987. Patrice Lumumba, on his own part, Congo's first prime minister, stood firmly against Western exploitation, declaring that Congo's resources must serve its people, a stand that led to his brutal murder in 1961, orchestrated by foreign powers once again. I told you already, it is not about the country, it's about the fight for the resources of those countries. Because how can the Western world love Africans when in everything they do, every decision they make is against the same continent? Okay? So today, history appears to be repeating itself in Burkina Faso. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, who assumed leadership in 2022, is under relentless attack. Reports suggest that since his emergence, there have been no fewer than 18 assassination attempts on his life. Did you just hear what I said? 18 attempts. The last one happened just a few weeks back, where it was alleged that somebody close to him was offered $5 million to get him out of the way. And luckily for him, that person, revealed the whole thing. And we thank God that we still have such people. God bless that man. So this is the way and pattern of these people from the West. Okay? So his crime. What are the crimes of Ibrahim Traoré, if I may ask? The crime, according to them, from all what we can see, is for expelling French military forces and reclaiming control over Burkina Faso's natural resources and forging strategic alliances with non-Western powers such as Russia. Under Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso has witnessed bold reforms. Education has been made free, and significant infrastructural development is visible across the country. The management of the nation's resources now serves the Burkinabe people themselves. Yes, and not to some corrupt officials or to some of these Western powers or even France. This is a radical departure from the past. Unsurprisingly, the West has responded with its familiar playbook. Yes, I call it a playbook. Smear campaigns, accusations of corruptions, and deliberate misrepresentation of its governance. The hypocrisy could not be more glaring. When has the West ever genuinely championed the well-being of Africans? When? Just tell me one instance where they have genuinely championed the cause of any African country without ulterior motive. Just one. There's none. Their concerns have never been about freedom, development, or democracy. They have always been about access to Africa's vast mineral wealth and nothing more. First, they will demonize revolutionary leaders to justify intervention. Then they deploy local collaborators to execute the final act. It is unfortunate that whenever they plan these things, they use our own people, to carry out some of these devilish acts. The critical question now is, where does this leave Africa? Will we as Africans continue to watch in silence as the few brave leaders willing to chart an independent path are systematically eliminated? Or will we rise in solidarity, understanding that their battles are not personal but continental, battles for the soul and future of Africa itself? Africa must realize once and for all that the West's interest in us has always been transactional. It is about what they can take, not what they can give. If we allow Captain Traoré to fall, we are not merely losing a leader, we are forfeiting yet another chance at true emancipation. However, unity remains our greatest challenge. Corruption, ethnic divisions, religious intolerance, and political betrayal continue to fragment us, providing easy entry points, for external manipulations. Until we address these internal weaknesses, Foreign powers will continue to dictate our destiny, unfortunately. It is time for Africans to put aside their differences and unite under a common cause to govern ourselves without foreign interference. Our salvation lies not in foreign aid, but in Africa's solidarity, self-reliance, and an unyielding commitment to the ideals of freedom, sovereignty, and collective progress. The future of Africa depends on the voices we make today. We either rise as one or remain forever shackled to the remnants of colonialism disguised as friendship. And with this, I'm calling on African leaders. I'm calling on the youths of this continent to seize this moment to rally around Ibrahim Traoré. Because if we fail to do this, like I have warned in several fora, then the African continent is doomed. It means we must prepare and be ready for further enslavement and impoverishment. I don't think this will be our lot by the grace of God, but we must act and act now. So this is what I feel we should be doing at this moment. I hope that at the end of this video, you will have seen that it makes sense that we pray for Ibrahim Traoré at this time. We don't need to just pray, we need to act as well by exactly what I'm doing now, by galvanizing people and by seeking for collaboration with him. I think this is the way to go, okay? If you have enjoyed this video, please feel free to add your comment to the comment section where hopefully I'm going to meet you. Thank you so much. I'll be bringing you further videos on this trending matter. God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.